booger free and ready to go.
Hey friends.
Hello.
Maybe you are a friend, maybe you aren't. I have a feeling you would like me if you knew me though.
Who are you?
My name is Jeremy Byrne.
I'm Britt Byrne.
And I'm Justin Byrne.
Did you notice anything similar about all three of us?
We're related.
We're related. This is my sister and my wife. This is my brother.
That's
kidding.
my sister.
And my wife. That's what I meant.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Okay, we're here today to share with you a few nuggy nugs of experience and hopefully wisdom, and to give you a little bit of information. And we're trying to have fun in the midst of it, because who loves Facebook Lives?
We do.
I do. Okay, we just got back from Taiwan, the three of us.
Taichung,
Oh my
Taiwan.
gosh, real quick, let me tell you this. We fly out of Reading to San Francisco to Taipei. This is on June 2nd, I think it was, Sunday, whatever that Sunday was. We go to the airport 9 a.m. in the morning, going to check in, putting our passports on the little, scan thing, and mine says, "Please see the attendant at the kiosk." And I'm like, what? And so it takes me a second, and I was like, why is this thing not working for me? And I kind of look at it, and I realize my passport expired 28 days ago. Sorry, I just saw my dad's face behind the camera. My passport expired, and we were flying out that day to Taiwan. The workshop luckily started 2 days after that. This Sunday, I can't even rush my passport out that day. So I start calling. Long story short, I drive down to San Francisco, wait in line the next morning before the passport, what is it called? The passport agency opens at the federal building. I get there early, I go in, I basically won the lottery. God totally did a miracle, really. I got my passport the next day. I'd already pushed my flight out 2 days. I drove to SFO, flew out the next morning, made it there the first night the workshop started. I didn't make it to the workshop that evening, but made it there that night and was there for the remaining full 3 days. Pretty crazy,
it was
right?
a miracle.
I don't know why I'm
It really
waiting
was.
for a response from this.
Because
but
everyone's going, yeah, Jared.
Yeah,
And
hopefully.
meanwhile, Britt and I flew to
yeah.
Taipei and then to Taichung.
Yeah.
And we started the workshop, just the two of us. And
Which, by the way, was 520 people.
yes,
It was
500
huge.
around
and
that.
amazing, yeah.
And it was, they were ready to go when we got there. It was a very great
Yeah.
group. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, I would say the theme of that workshop was people getting free from shame that stopped them from being free to be themselves.
Yeah.
And to be who God made them to be in relationships and how they saw themselves. And
Yeah.
that, just the testimonies that came out afterwards were just constantly just freedom from these things that have happened, or the way they thought, or the things they believed about themselves. And it was pretty amazing what God did in those people's lives. And we don't even speak Mandarin, but they still figured it out.
Yeah, we just spoke in English, and God translated to all of them.
Through a translator.
Yeah, we
translated,
had
yeah, so
amazing
we-
translators that
Yes.
were so helpful. But
This was what number workshop for you?
This was only my second workshop that I've taught, and it was really, it was really cool, because I really felt this type God helping me take a little more ownership. There was actually, there's a whole talk that Lori and Barry usually do that they show on a DVD, but we get there and we're about to go on, and they're like, oh, actually, we don't have the DVD translated. So it ended up being a really cool blessing, though, because God, every night when I would go to sleep, I would be just woken up by the Holy Spirit, and He would give me something, and I would just go to sleep, and He would give me something else. And I ended up writing 3 whole talks that I've never given before, one about body image and some other things. And it really felt like not only were they things that were important to me in my life, but were really important to be expressed to these people at this time. I just felt Holy Spirit on it, and so that just felt really exciting, being like activated in real time when I know it wasn't me, because I can't come up with 3 talks out of nowhere, but God was just giving me stuff, and everyone was very receptive. And like Joss kind of mentioned, there's just a shame culture there a little bit, and so at the first night, everyone was ready to engage, but very reserved, and by the end, people were just so free, and they're crying and they're laughing, and it just felt amazing to watch God move. And he just shifted the atmosphere every single day. It got freer and freer and freer, so it was really fun.
So we have some good news. You don't have to live in Taiwan to go to a single workshop. We have one coming to Redding, California, It's going to be July 24th through the 26th. And registration closes July 16th. So that means you have to go to the website nothinghidden.com and fill out the application before July 16th.
Which is just 2 days shy of a month from today.
And you can join a Single Life workshop. And I recently had a friend who came to me and asked me a question about being single. And he had this situation where this girl he was kind of into, but he didn't know if he was fully attracted to her, just moved into the same town as him, and he wasn't sure what to do. And I think I've been in that same place before. But this is what I'd say. I think many people need to have people around them or someone speaking into life telling them the things that are important to go for, that are important to take risk in, and important to be challenged towards. And that's a really important part. And so many people don't have families or friends who will do that for them. And Single Life Workshop will help bring stuff out and have a group of people around you that will help support you, help you see things you never saw before, help open up things that you didn't know existed. And it helps open up doors. And for anybody who's felt like stuck, or there's closed doors, you don't know what to do, this can really help unlock things and unblock things. So we want to encourage you, join us and let God, see what God can do in your life. And it's happened for so many people. We're blown away by just how often this happens over and over and over. So July 24th through the 26th, Single Life Workshop in Redding, California.
Register by the 16th. And like Josh said, he talks a lot about risk and about, dating. So there's some really practical stuff. Like he talks about how to say no when someone's manipulating you. I mean, things that happen in our real lives that the church doesn't talk about all the time. We talk about masturbation. We talk about sexual identity. We talk about a lot of things that God really cares about. I talk about addiction and shame and things I've gone through in my life with eating disorders, body image. I mean, the real stuff that Satan loves to toy with our minds with, that the church doesn't always talk about freely. We really go deep into this. And not only do we share our stories, which are very juicy, you should just come for the stories. You get to talk about it in your group. And it's a really safe place and environment that's, small groups. Lori's saying small groups. Yes, she's totally right. The small groups are where the magic happens. Because it's not our teaching or our words, it's really inviting Holy Spirit in, and He wants to set you free. And this is just an environment we facilitated, but Holy Spirit does all the work. And that's why it's so fruitful, and that's why we're so excited about it. So we just see Him, someone from day 1 to day 3 just be totally transformed by God. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I'd say that's another takeaway that we hear most often from people is they didn't realize how easy or how much they could hear from God. And that's the thing. It's like what we do helps lead us to the truth that God has for us, not the truth we believed all our lives that has led us poorly. And it really is a place that seeks what God has for you above what anything else. And it's amazing how God's truth, once we start to just barely accept it, barely let it in, we don't have to be fully open, but it starts to change us from the inside out, and it really can transform a life with just a little switch in understanding what God's truth for us is, instead of just our own or what we've had given to us throughout our lives. So we'd love to see you guys there, and we will be there. It's going to be...
There's a very high probability that we will be there.
We may or may not be at our workshop. No.
If you guys come to Single Life Workshop, I can almost guarantee that...
I'm scared.
If you show up and are willing to be there and to put in the work, even without doing the work, God will fix everything that you want fixed in your life. I can guarantee that.
Do you want to qualify that? You want to try that again?
Just kidding. I just want to see what they said about that. Here's what I do want to say about it. Is just hours prior to us filming this very video, my lovely wife and I got into what would you call it, an argument or a conflict, or we had something come up in our marriage.
A tense.
Yeah, very tense. We were misunderstanding each other, and we got it, and we it went really quick to 9, 8, 9. It wasn't but we were both upset and feeling misunderstood and this and that, get into argument, and we had to stop and pray, and used I mean, some of the tools, listening exercise, some of these tools that we give in this workshop, and had we not been able to have access to those tools, use those tools, I mean, do you think our marriage would have been DOA?
No.
No. Okay. No, it would not have been DOA. But those of you who aren't even married yet, you can stop your marriage from being DOA before it even starts. I'm kind of being silly, but I'm really being serious. Get whatever tools you can. Our workshop isn't the only place to get tools, but it is a place that is offering tools, and it's way too easy to be comfortable and not move forward and not challenge yourself to get these tools. If we didn't have this thing that today, I don't know, maybe took 20, 30 minutes, and only the first 5 to 10 minutes was kind of contentious. The rest of it was really then us processing through the things that came up after we started listening and really praying, using the tools and stuff. I don't know how else to say it. You can't go through life, you can't have a good relationship, you can't have a good marriage unless you're willing to go after the tools and figure out what you don't know. And this is a great place. I think all three of us would vouch for this thing, obviously. But I would encourage you, if there are areas in your life that you know there's something that you're not experiencing that you want to, and you don't know what lies between you and that experience, come, and I guarantee we have something for you at this workshop. Also, Hunter, are you going to share the 3 magical talks that God gave you in the dead of the night in Taiwan at this workshop?
Yes, I'm going to share them again.
There you go. So
I thought you meant right now. I was like, we don't really have
there's
time.
There's a little teaser for you.
Yes, I will.
But they're new talks.
The
That's why I wanted to say they're new talks.
Hot off
and
the
so.
press.
Sign up, go to nothinghidden.com. Anything else you want to say?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's transformative, and it's not from us, it's Holy Spirit. But we want to share it with you.
And it's fun. It's intense, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I've done many of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you've never been to Reading in the summer, it's lovely.
And hot.
And very hot.
But you'll survive.
But there's a
we do it in air conditioning, so you'll be fine.
So,
Jaws, what is one of the things that you talk about in the workshop?
I talk about embracing your sexuality.
Ooh. Have you ever done that? Do you know how to do that? Well, you can. What's one of the things that you talk about?
Well, one thing I like talking about is how to maintain your breakthrough, which means after you've used these tools that we're kind of mentioning, when a lie comes in, you can send it away and get a truth from God. Then what do you do with that? How do you move forward? How do you maintain what happens in the workshop? Because a lot of times we go to a workshop like this, and it is really exciting, but I actually like laying out some ground rules. How do you walk through life holding on to these things and use the tools in real life, like Jared and I were kind of talking about today? When stuff comes up, when it's not in a safe workshop environment, when it's real life, what are keys to maintaining that?
Are you kidding me? All this for
$5 million.
5 easy payments of $39.99. No, what would that be? About four. Roughly 4 easy payments of $39.99.
And also, we value marriage. We think marriage is a very important thing in this day and age. Not just any marriage, but a healthy, happy, connected marriage. And we know it's possible, and we want to help facilitate that before people have to find out that they don't know what they're doing. And it just helps to start learning about it now. It doesn't hurt. It only helps. And that's what we're about. The workshop isn't about getting married. It's about helping you be prepared for it. So we're not going to try to set you up with somebody.
Yeah, that's one thing it's not.
We want to help people get married and get a happy marriage going. So that's what we're about. We are excited to be in Reading. We're excited to spend time with whoever wants to be there. And
should we send them out with our special Single Life cheer?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Great.
1, 2, 3. Single life, single life. See you there. Single life, single life. My name's Jared. All right, that's all for today. Bye, guys.